So we're going to start off with 2 points, 2 ordered pairs. And like I said, let's imagine that we graph those 2 points and draw a line through them. Well, there's an equation for that line, and that's what we want to figure out. Okay? So we're going to go through the whole process twice. For the first one here, we're going to have a slope that's going to be just an integer. And for the second one, the slope is going to be a fraction. All right. So here we are. And let's go ahead and find the slope. So to remind us what the slope is, I'm going to write the slope formula. Okay, so the slope formula, it's right behind me here, but it starts, the slope, m, is equal to the difference in the y values. We call that y2, take away y1, over the difference in the x values. So that's x2 minus x1. Okay, so we're going to use that formula. And we have our 2 points. So you don't have to label them, but for this first example, I will. This is going to be my first x. So this is x1, and this is y1, and this is going to be x2 and y2. And now I'm going to go ahead and put those values into this formula. Let's get started. M equals, it's difference in the numerator and denominator, so it's subtraction. And let's go ahead and put in our numbers. So I'm going to take this -1, -1. That's my second ordered pair. Rotate it, and then they go here on the top and on the bottom. -1, -1. Okay? And then I'm going to take this ordered pair, and I'm going to put them here. Which number would I put on top, though? 7. It has to be the y value on top. And then 1 would go on the bottom. Okay? Since I do have negatives, you see I have negative values, I'm going to go ahead and change this. Now, I really recommend, if you have negatives or if you're not sure what the answer is, do keep, change, flip, or keep, change, opposite. Keep the first number, change subtraction to adding, and then flip or reverse the sign on that one. I'm going to do that to both of them. Okay, so now this numerator is -1 plus -7. Well, that becomes -8. And on the bottom, I have -1 plus -1. So I know that's -2. So now I got to reduce this fraction if I can. Always reduce the fraction. What can I divide out of 8 and 2? 2. Ooh, someone might get to go home. And it is attendance office. Room 30. Yes. No, she's not. No. Oh. No, I would know. Yeah. Sure. I guess not. All right, let's divide by 2. So this becomes -8 divided by 2, -4, -2 divided by 2, -1. Let's simplify that even further. What's -4 divided by -1? +4. Now, if you recognize, could I have just done -8 divided by -2 to get +4? Do you think that would be better? That's fine. That's great. If you recognize that I could have gone from here straight to +4, good job. But I just don't want to lose anyone. So there it is. Our slope is 4. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go from this rather. Now we're going to go use point slope because we have a slope now and we have points we can use. So let's do that. So I'm going to pick one of these two ordered pairs. I'm going to just pick the first one. I kind of just get in the habit of always using this point along with the slope. So we're going to plug that into point slope form. Okay? And point slope form is y take away y1 equals m for slope, parentheses, x minus x1. Okay? And let's use that here. Okay. So now we need 1 point and a slope. We have a point, we have a slope. We're going to replace those variables with numbers. Here we go. Y, and then it says takeaway. So I'm going to put minus. And then I want y1. So which of these numbers is my y1? 1 or 7? 7. 7 goes here. Then I put an equal sign. Then instead of m, I'm going to put the number 4, because that's my slope, parentheses, x minus, and now I want x1, which is the number 1. Okay. So we plugged it into point slope. Do you remember what we did after this? Distribute, yeah. We want to distribute, all right? Before we get rid of a constant, which is what we'll do next, we definitely want to get rid of the parentheses by distributing. So y take away 7 equals 4 times x minus 4 times 1, so that's 4. And now this is what we have. No parentheses. So let's get rid of minus 7. We'll do the opposite, add 7. And that gets rid of the minus 7 here. And we finally have our answer. Y equals 4x. And then we figure out that negative 4 and positive 7 add up to positive 3. So plus 3. Okay? All right, focus on this. Focus on this. Yes. We're right in the middle of something. All right. Any questions? We're going to do one more. And this one's going to have a slope that's a fraction. Because sometimes you will encounter that. Okay. You guys ready? All right, let's do it. Number 2. We'll go quicker with this one too, because we won't write all the formulas. So this time we're going to have the ordered pair -8, -1, and -4, -4. All right. So what is the first thing we have to do? What do we have to do? Get the ball rolling. Which of these 3 formulas is going to help us out first? The slope formula. So let's use it. Okay. So I'm going to we have it above, so we don't need to rewrite it. But let's set up to use the slope formula. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pick this one first. -4, -4. We're going to put those numbers here. So here we go. -4, -4. We're on our way. So that means I'm going to use -8, -1 first. Which number goes on top? -8 or -1? Remember, you want the y values here. -1. and negative 8 will go here. We have negative numbers. It's a good idea to do keep, change, flip. So keep, change to addition, flip it, keep it, change to addition, flip it. Okay, and let's see what happens. We have negative 4 plus 1. That's negative 3. Negative 4 plus positive 8. That's positive 4. So I have negative 3/4. Can I reduce that down? Can I make that a smaller fraction? Nope. Cannot. We don't have a common denominator, a common factor that would divide out. So we'll keep this as negative 4. Okay. Now, we're going to take this slope and let's use this one, negative 8, negative 1. We're going to plug that into point slope. So we're going to do y, take away space, equals space, parentheses, x minus space, close parentheses. Okay, let's fill in these spaces with our numbers. Okay, can you tell me, please, somebody, what number goes behind the y minus? We're using negative 8, negative 1. Negative 1. Now, there's something that we have to take care of. This is negative, and we're putting it next to a minus. It turns into plus. It doesn't become y minus 1. It becomes y plus 1. Oops. That's fine. What number goes in this space? That's where the slope goes. Negative 3/4. What number goes here? Negative 8. And since it's negative and this is minus, that also becomes plus 8. All right. Now we have a little bit of a problem, but it's not going to be too bad. We know we have to distribute first. So let's distribute. Negative 3/4, we're going to multiply it in. Okay? So y plus 1. And then negative 3/4 times x. There it is. And then we're going to multiply negative 3/4 times 8. The first thing I want to do is decide is if this is going to be a plus or a minus sign here. Yeah, it's a negative times a plus, so it's a minus. So now we don't have to worry about negatives or positives. We just have to multiply 3/4 times 8. I'm going to do that scratch work here. 3/4 times 8. And I'm going to write 8 as 8 over 1 because I want it to be a fraction as well. Okay, so now let's see what we get. 3 times 8, that's 24. 4 times 1 is 4. So I have 24/4. Yes, reduce it down to 6. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So that's my answer. 3/4 times 8 is 6. So now this is my equation that I want to work with. And the last thing I want to do is get rid of that constant by subtracting 1. And what happens? We get y, this cancels, equals negative 3/4, x, and then we combine or add negative 6 and negative 1. That's negative 7, so minus 7. Okay, so this is going to be what we're going to work on today. There's 6 of them on delta. So I'd like you to go ahead and go to delta.